Where are you watching from today? I'm sitting in my new corner office in Seattle, finally ready to tell you what happened 18 months ago when my older brother stole my career, convinced our parents I deserved it, and then had the audacity to show up at my door begging for money after karma came knocking. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me take you back to the day my entire world fell apart. I was 27 years old, working as a senior marketing strategist at Meridian Creative, a boutique agency in Boston that specialized in rebranding campaigns for struggling retailers. I'd been there for 4 years, working my way up from junior coordinator to leading my own projects. I loved my job. More importantly, I was good at it. Really good at it. For 8 months, I'd been developing what I called the Catalyst campaign, a revolutionary approach to retail revival that combined guerrilla marketing, social media psychology, and community engagement. I'd spent countless late nights researching, testing concepts, building presentations. I'd poured my savings into a marketing certification program to strengthen my credentials. This campaign was going to be my ticket to creative director, and everyone in the office knew it. Then my brother Tyler got hired. Tyler was 31, 4 years older than me, and had spent the last decade bouncing between sales jobs. He was charming, confident, and had always been our parents' golden child. When he called me 6 months before everything imploded, saying he was struggling financially and needed a fresh start, I did what family does. I got him an interview at Meridian. My boss, Victoria Chen, was hesitant at first. "Maddie, we don't usually hire family members of existing employees. It creates complications." "I know," I'd said. "But Tyler's really turned things around. He just needs a chance. I'll keep everything professional, I promise." That promise haunted me later. Tyler started as an account executive in January. He was charming with clients, friendly with colleagues, and surprisingly helpful to me. He'd swing by my desk with coffee, ask about my projects, offer to look over my presentations. "Fresh eyes help," he'd say with that big brother smile I'd trusted my whole life. I thought he was being supportive. I thought he was grateful. I was so incredibly wrong. The pitch meeting was scheduled for March 15th at 2 p.m. I'd been preparing for weeks. Victoria had invited the entire executive team, including Marcus Webb, the CEO, and Jennifer Park, our operations director. This was my moment. I arrived at the conference room at 1:45, rolling my presentation materials in on a cart. My laptop was ready. My notes were organized. I'd even bought a new blazer for the occasion. But when I pushed open the conference room door, Tyler was already there, standing at the head of the table, his laptop connected to the projector, my presentation on the screen behind him. Not similar to my presentation, my slides, my research, my graphics, my 8 months of work. The executives were already seated, coffees in hand, looking attentive and impressed. Tyler saw me freeze in the doorway and had the audacity to smile. "Oh, Maddie, perfect timing. I was just getting started on the Catalyst campaign pitch." My mouth went dry. "What?" Victoria looked confused. "Maddie, I thought this was your project?" "It is my project," I said, my voice shaking. "Tyler, what are you doing?" He didn't even flinch. "Maddie and I have been collaborating on this for months. She brought me in to help develop the execution strategy." "Right, sis?" He gestured to the screen. "We should really get started. Everyone's busy." I stood there, paralyzed. Every instinct screamed to call him out, to expose him right there. But the executives were watching, waiting. Marcus Webb checked his watch. If I made a scene, I'd look unprofessional, unstable, like the jealous little sister. Tyler knew it. I could see it in his eyes. "Actually," he continued smoothly, "Maddie's been so focused on the research side. I thought I'd take the lead on the client-facing presentation. You know how she is with numbers and theory. I'll handle the polish." He said it like a compliment, like he was doing me a favor. I should have fought, should have demanded the truth right then. But I was 27 years old, frozen with shock, and watching my brother steal my future in real time. The presentation lasted 45 minutes. Tyler delivered my talking points flawlessly. He referenced my research like it was his own. He even used the same jokes I'd practiced. The executives loved it. Victoria kept nodding approvingly. Marcus Webb called it innovative and exactly what Meridian needs to stay competitive. When it ended, Tyler shook Marcus's hand. "Thanks for the opportunity to present this. I think Maddie and I make a great team." Victoria caught up with me in the hallway after. "Maddie, that was impressive. I didn't realize you and Tyler were collaborating so closely. The campaign structure is brilliant. Victoria, I need to talk to you about. We'll debrief tomorrow, she interrupted, already checking her phone. Marcus wants to move forward immediately. We'll discuss team assignments and timeline then. She walked away before I could respond. I found Tyler in the break room 20 minutes later, making himself a celebratory coffee. What the hell was that? I demanded, my hands shaking with rage. He stirred his coffee slowly, not looking at me. That was me executing on a good idea. You're welcome. You stole my presentation. I improved your presentation. Let's be honest, Maddie. You're great at the research and strategy, but you don't have the presence to sell it. Those executives needed to see confidence, not your nervous stuttering. The words hit like a slap. I've been working on this for 8 months, and now it'll actually get implemented. You should be thanking me. He took a sip of coffee. Besides, ideas are free. Execution is what matters. Maybe you should have been faster. I couldn't breathe. I'm telling Victoria the truth. Tyler's expression hardened. You could do that, but then you'd have to explain why you let me present in the first place. Why you stood there and said nothing while I pitched. That'll look great for your career. He leaned against the counter, completely calm. Here's what's going to happen. You're going to accept that we're a team on this project. You'll get credit too. We'll both benefit. Or you can throw a tantrum and torpedo both our careers. Your choice. I wanted to scream. To throw something. To call him every name I could think of. Instead, I walked out. I couldn't focus the rest of the day. I sat at my desk, staring at my computer screen, trying to figure out what to do. Report him to HR? But with what evidence? He'd been careful. He'd framed it as collaboration from the beginning. I'd let him into my files, my research, my process. I'd invited him to look over my presentations. I'd handed him everything he needed to betray me. At 6 p.m., my phone rang. Mom, Maddie! Tyler just called with the most wonderful news. He said his big presentation went amazingly and he might get promoted. We're so proud of him. My stomach dropped. Mom, that was my presentation, my project. Oh, sweetie. Tyler said you two worked on it together. Isn't that nice? Your brother's really found his footing. Your father and I were so worried about him. But it sounds like Meridian is perfect for him. Mom, he stole my work. There was a pause. Then her voice shifted, taking on that tone I knew too well. Disappointed. Disapproving. Madison, that's an awful thing to say about your brother. Tyler told us you might react this way. He said you've been territorial about projects lately. Territorial? Mom, I spent 8 months. Family supports family. Madison, you're the one who got Tyler this job. You should be happy he's succeeding, not jealous. It's not a good look. Jealous. That word echoed in my head long after we hung up. I drove to my apartment in Cambridge, ordered takeout I couldn't eat, and sat on my couch trying to make sense of what happened. How did I become the villain in this story? How was Tyler the victim? My best friend Zoe called at 9. She worked in tech consulting across town and had been my rock since college. Maddie, what's wrong? You sound terrible. I told her everything, every detail, every betrayal. Jesus Christ, she breathed when I finished. What are you going to do? I don't know. If I report him, it's my word against his. He's already spun this as collaboration to Victoria and our parents. What about evidence? Emails? Files? He was smart. He used my research like I'd shared it with him. Which I did, because I'm an idiot who trusted my brother. You're not an idiot. You're someone who believed family meant something. But that night, lying in bed, I felt like the biggest idiot in the world. The next morning, Victoria called me into her office. Tyler was already there, sitting casually in one of her chairs like he owned the place. Maddie, sit down. We need to discuss the Catalyst campaign rollout. I sat, my spine rigid, avoiding Tyler's eyes. Victoria continued. Marcus was extremely impressed with yesterday's presentation. He wants to move forward immediately with a pilot program for our client, Hartwell Retail. This is going to be Meridian's flagship campaign this year. She smiled. Congratulations to both of you. Both of you. Given the scope, Victoria said. We're creating a new role, campaign director. Someone to oversee the entire Catalyst initiative, manage the team, interface with executives. Marcus and I have discussed it. And Tyler, we'd like to offer you the position. The room tilted. Tyler didn't even pretend to be surprised. Wow, Victoria. I'm honored. Thank you for this opportunity. You earned it with that presentation. she said warmly. Then, almost as an afterthought, Maddie, you'll continue as senior strategist supporting the campaign. Tyler will need your research skills. Supporting my own project, under my brother's direction. Tyler will receive a salary increase to $85,000, plus performance bonuses tied to campaign success. We'll discuss your compensation review at your annual evaluation in July, Maddie. $85,000. I was making $62,000. I managed to keep my face neutral until I left Victoria's office. Then I locked myself in a bathroom stall and cried angry, frustrated tears. That evening, I did something I probably shouldn't have. I went back to the office after everyone left and checked my access logs. Tyler had been in my files constantly over the past 2 months. Not just looking, downloading. Every presentation, every research document, every strategy brief I'd created. But more than that, I found something else. Old emails. Messages between Tyler and Victoria from before he was hired, back in December. Victoria, I've heard great things about Meridian from my sister Maddie. She's mentioned you're looking to expand the marketing strategy team. I have extensive experience in campaign execution and client management. Would love to discuss opportunities. That was expected. But then, a week later, thanks for the interview today. I want to be upfront that while Maddie is talented with research, she tends to struggle with executive-level presentations. If hired, I'd be happy to work closely with her to help polish her client-facing skills. I've always looked out for my little sister. My hands trembled reading it. Another email from January, after he was hired. Victoria, Maddie mentioned a big campaign she's developing. Since you've assigned me to support marketing strategy, maybe I could collaborate with her? I'd love to add value beyond my account management role. He'd planned this. From the beginning, he'd planted seeds of doubt about my abilities while positioning himself as the solution. I photographed every email with my phone. Then I checked our shared project folder. Tyler had been careful about most things, but he'd made one crucial mistake. Every file I'd created had metadata, timestamps showing when I'd originally generated them, months before Tyler joined the company. It wasn't much, but it was something. I barely slept that night, trying to decide what to do. Report him to Victoria? But she'd already chosen him. Go to HR? With what complaint, exactly? He was my supervisor now. The decision was made for me the next morning when I discovered Tyler had called an 8 a.m. team meeting for the new Catalyst campaign group. I arrived to find 7 colleagues gathered in the conference room. Tyler stood at the head of the table, looking confident and authoritative in a navy suit. I was pretty sure our parents bought him. Thanks everyone for coming early. I wanted to kick off this campaign right. As you know, Catalyst represents Meridian's future. Victoria and Marcus have put a lot of faith in this team, and I intend to exceed their expectations. Everyone nodded, energized. I felt sick. Maddie's done solid foundation work on the research side, Tyler continued. But now we need to execute. I've outlined roles and responsibilities. He distributed packets. We'll have weekly check-ins every Monday at 8 a.m. I expect updates on all deliverables. Questions? Sarah Chen, one of the junior strategists, raised her hand. Tyler, will Maddie be leading the strategy workstream since she developed the original framework? Tyler smiled indulgently. Maddie will certainly contribute her research expertise, but I'll be directing overall strategy to ensure we stay aligned with executive vision. She's great with data, but we need someone who can see the bigger picture. The condescension in his voice made me want to scream. After the meeting, I stopped Tyler in the hallway. We need to talk. Privately, he checked his watch. I have a 9 a.m. with Marcus. Make it quick. A 9 a.m. with Marcus? About my campaign? About the Catalyst campaign, he corrected. You really need to start thinking more collaboratively, Maddie. This isn't about ownership. It's about what's best for Meridian. You stole my work. He glanced around, making sure no one was in earshot. Then he stepped closer, his voice low. Prove it. Go ahead. Tell Victoria. Tell HR. Tell Marcus that your brother is a thief. Then explain why you shared all your files with me. Why you invited me to review your presentations. Why you stood silent while I pitched to executives. His smile was cold. You can't claim theft when you handed me the keys. I trusted you. That's not my problem. He stepped back, his professional mask sliding back into place. Now, I need those consumer research summaries by end of day. And Maddie, try to be a team player. This attitude isn't helping your career. He walked away, leaving me trembling with rage in an empty hallway. That night, I called our parents. I needed them to understand what Tyler had done. Dad answered, "Maddie, how's our rising star?" Tyler told us all about his new promotion. Campaign director. We couldn't be prouder. Dad, I need to tell you what really happened with that promotion. Tyler already told us. Sounds like you two make quite the team. We're not a team. Tyler stole my project. He took 8 months of my work and presented it as his own. Then he got promoted for it. Silence. Then Dad's voice, careful and disappointed. "Madison, your mother and I raised you better than this." "Better than what?" "Tyler warned us you might have trouble with his promotion. He said you've been struggling with professional jealousy." Professional jealousy. Tyler's words, coming out of our father's mouth. "That's not what's happening," I said, my voice breaking. "Dad, Tyler planned this from the beginning. He used me to get hired. Then he—" "Enough." Dad's tone was sharp. "I don't want to hear you talk about your brother like this. Tyler has worked hard to turn his life around. He finally has a good job, a promotion, a future. And you want to tear him down because you're not in the spotlight? That's not what I'm doing." "Tyler said you'd react this way. He told us you've always been competitive with him, going back to when you were kids." "That's not true. Dad, please, just listen." "No, Madison, you listen. Tyler is your brother. He's family, and family supports family, especially when they're succeeding. Whatever issues you think you have, you need to work them out professionally. Don't drag your parents into workplace politics." "This isn't politics." "He stole. I need to go. Your mother wants to take Tyler out for a congratulatory dinner this weekend. You're welcome to join if you can be happy for your brother." He hung up. I sat on my couch, phone still pressed to my ear, listening to the dial tone and feeling more alone than I'd ever felt in my life. The next few weeks were a nightmare. Tyler ran the Catalyst campaign like it was his brainchild, taking credit for every success and delegating blame for every setback. He had me doing grunt work. Data entry, research summaries, meeting notes. When I tried to contribute strategic ideas, he'd dismiss them in front of the team or reframe them as his own thoughts building on Maddie's research. My colleagues started looking at me differently, not as the talented strategist who'd earned her senior position, but as Tyler's less impressive little sister who couldn't handle not being in charge. In May, 2 months after Tyler's promotion, he called me into his new office. Yes, he had an office now. I was still in a cubicle. "Close the door, Maddie." I did, staying standing. "We need to discuss your performance," he said, shuffling papers on his desk. "Victoria's asked me to document any concerns, since I'm your direct supervisor now." My blood ran cold. "Concerns? You've been resistant to feedback. Your attitude in team meetings has been negative. Several colleagues have mentioned you seem resentful." He looked up at me with fake sympathy. "I get it. This transition has been hard for you, but you need to adapt. Is this because I wouldn't let you take credit for the consumer behavior analysis last week? See, this is exactly what I mean. That defensive attitude." He made a note on his paper. "I'm trying to help you, Maddie. But if you can't be a team player, maybe you're not the right fit for this campaign." The threat was clear. Cooperate or be removed from my own project. That night, Zoe came over with wine and takeout. She found me sitting on my kitchen floor, crying. "Maddie, oh my God, what happened?" I told her everything. The performance review. The threats. The way Tyler had systematically isolated me and destroyed my credibility. "This is constructive dismissal," Zoe said immediately. "He's creating a hostile work environment to force you out. What can I do?" "He's my supervisor. He's HR's golden boy. Our parents think I'm the problem." "Then you document everything. Every interaction. Every email. Every meeting where he takes credit or undermines you. You build a case. For what? For when you're ready to fight back." I didn't know it then, but Zoe's advice would save me. I started documenting. Every time Tyler took credit for my work, I saved the original files with timestamps. Every dismissive comment in meetings, I noted in a private log. Every email where he undermined me, I forwarded to a personal account. Meanwhile, the Catalyst campaign launched with Hartwell Retail in June. It was immediately successful, exactly as I designed it. Sales increased 38% in the first month, customer engagement doubled. Industry publications covered it as innovative retail revival. Tyler did a dozen media interviews. Victoria presented him at the quarterly company meeting as Meridian's visionary creative director, a title that came with another raise. He was making $95,000 now. I was still at 62. Our parents called constantly. gushing about Tyler's success. Mom sent me articles featuring him. Aren't you proud of your brother? I stopped answering their calls. In July, during my annual review, Victoria gave me satisfactory marks across the board. Not excellent. Not exceeding expectations. Satisfactory. Maddie, you're a solid contributor, she said. But you haven't shown the leadership initiative we need for advancement. Your collaboration skills need improvement. Tyler's noted some concerns about your attitude. My salary increase was 3%, $1,900. Tyler had gotten a 37% raise in 4 months. That night, I made a decision. I updated my resume, highlighting my real work on the Catalyst campaign. I reached out to my professional network quietly, and I started looking for jobs outside of Boston. By August, I had 3 interviews lined up. One was with Evermore Strategies, a major marketing firm in Seattle. They were expanding their retail division and looking for a creative director to build it. The interview was a Zoom call. I wore my interview blazer, set up professional lighting in my apartment, and for the first time in months, I got to talk about my work without Tyler's shadow. Walk me through your approach to the Catalyst campaign, said Rebecca Morrison, Evermore's VP of Creative. The results were remarkable. I did. I explained my research methodology, my strategic framework, my implementation timeline. 8 months of work, laid out clearly, passionately, without hedging or undermining myself. And you led this entire initiative? Rebecca asked. Here was my moment. I could lie, say yes outright, or I could tell the truth. I developed and designed the entire campaign, I said carefully. I wasn't given the opportunity to lead its implementation at Meridian. Why not? I took a breath. That's a complicated answer involving office politics I'd rather not detail in an interview. What I can tell you is that I'm looking for an opportunity to actually lead the work I create. Rebecca nodded slowly. Fair enough. Your work speaks for itself. The Catalyst framework is exactly the kind of innovative thinking we need at Evermore. 2 days later, they offered me the job. Creative Director, Retail Division, Seattle office. Salary, $98,000, plus performance bonuses and equity options. I accepted immediately. My 2 weeks' notice went in on a Monday morning. Victoria called me into her office within an hour. Maddie, I'm surprised. What prompted this? A better opportunity, I said simply. We value you here. If this is about compensation, we can discuss. It's not about compensation. It's about being valued for my actual contributions. Victoria frowned. I don't understand. You've been a valued team member. I've been Tyler's research assistant for 8 months. That's not what I signed up for. Tyler speaks very highly of your work. I almost laughed. I'm sure he does. Victoria, I'm not negotiating. I'm leaving. Tyler cornered me in the parking lot that evening. You can't leave. Watch me. Maddie, be reasonable. The Catalyst campaign is entering phase 2. We need your research. You have 8 months of my research already. I'm sure you'll manage. His jaw tightened. This is unprofessional. Quitting without proper transition planning. I'm giving 2 weeks' notice. That's professional courtesy. Which is more than you gave me when you stole my career. I didn't steal anything. We collaborated. Keep telling yourself that, Tyler. Maybe you'll eventually believe it. I got in my car and drove away, leaving him standing there. My parents called that night. Dad was furious. Madison, Tyler told us you're abandoning him in the middle of a critical project. How could you do this to your brother? Do this to him? Dad, are you serious? He said you're sabotaging his campaign by leaving. He specifically hired you too. He didn't hire me. I got him hired. And then he stole my work and got promoted for it. That is enough. Dad's voice was thunderous. I am sick of hearing you tear down your brother. Tyler has been nothing but supportive of you, and this is how you repay him? Supportive? He destroyed my career. No, Madison. You're destroying your own career with this bitter, jealous attitude. Tyler tried to help you grow, and you couldn't handle not being in control. That's not what happened. We're done with this conversation. When you're ready to apologize to Tyler and act like family, you can call us. Until then, I don't want to hear from you. He hung up. Mom called 10 minutes later, crying, Maddie, please. Tyler's devastated. He said you screamed at him in the parking lot, told him you hated him. I never said that, Mom. I told him the truth about what he did. Why are you doing this to our family? Tyler's finally successful, finally happy, and you can't stand it, can you? Mom, please listen to me. Tyler Stoll, I don't want to hear it. Your father and I didn't raise you to be cruel to your own brother. Figure out whatever is wrong with you, Madison. Because right now, you're the one tearing this family apart. She hung up too. I sat in my apartment, surrounded by packing boxes, and realized I'd lost my family. My parents had chosen Tyler's version of events. They'd chosen him, but I'd chosen myself. And that would have to be enough. My last 2 weeks at Meridian were quiet. Tyler avoided me. Victoria was professionally distant. My colleagues threw me a small goodbye lunch and wished me well. But I could tell some of them believed Tyler's narrative that I was bitter about not getting promoted. Only Sarah Chen pulled me aside on my last day. Maddie, for what it's worth, I know Tyler's full of shit. That campaign had your fingerprints all over it. He couldn't have developed that strategy if his life depended on it. Thanks, Sarah. Good luck in Seattle. Go do great things. She hugged me. And don't let Tyler take this from you. You know what you built. I flew to Seattle on September 1st and started at Evermore on the 5th. Rebecca Morrison was everything Victoria wasn't. Supportive, direct, and genuinely interested in fostering my growth. Maddie, I hired you because you're brilliant, she said during my first week. I want you to build something extraordinary here. No politics, no games, just great work. For the first time in 6 months, I exhaled. I threw myself into the job. I built a team of 5 talented strategists. I developed new campaigns for Evermore's retail clients, using frameworks I'd refined from my Catalyst work. I worked late nights and early mornings, not because I was avoiding anything, but because I loved what I was doing. By December, my team had launched 3 successful campaigns. Evermore's retail division revenue increased 42%. Rebecca put me forward for a company-wide innovation award. Meanwhile, back in Boston, the Catalyst campaign was floundering. I heard through former colleagues still at Meridian that Tyler's Phase 2 implementation was struggling. Without my strategic foundation, he was flailing. Client satisfaction scores dropped. 2 major retailers declined to renew their contracts. Victoria had called Sarah Chen twice trying to get in touch with me, asking if I could consult on fixing the campaign's trajectory. I politely declined. Let Tyler handle it, I told Sarah. He's the visionary campaign director after all. Then, in February, 11 months after Tyler stole my promotion, my phone rang at 7 a.m. on a Tuesday. It was Victoria. Maddie, I know it's been a while, but I need to speak with you about something serious. It's about Tyler. My stomach dropped. What about him? Can we do a video call? This isn't something I want to discuss over the phone. We connected 10 minutes later. Victoria looked exhausted. Maddie, I'm going to be direct. We've had to terminate Tyler's employment. I said nothing, waiting. Last week, one of our competitors launched a campaign that was suspiciously similar to our upcoming Phase 3 strategy for Catalyst. Identical, actually. Right down to specific metrics and target demographics. My pulse quickened. How? We conducted an investigation. Tyler had been selling our proprietary strategies to Hammond Marketing for the past 4 months. He copied dozens of files from our secured system and handed them over. Hammond paid him $20,000. $20,000. Tyler had sold out Meridian for the cost of a used car. We're pursuing legal action, Victoria continued. Corporate espionage, breach of contract, theft of intellectual property. Our lawyers are confident we'll win, but the damage is done. 3 major clients have left us. Our reputation in the industry is damaged. I'm sorry, Victoria. Maddie, there's more. She paused. During the investigation, we reviewed Tyler's personnel file thoroughly. We found emails he'd sent undermining you. Documentation showing he'd taken credit for your work systematically. The original timestamps on campaign files proving you developed everything months before he joined the company. Vindication felt like ice water in my veins. I owe you an apology, Victoria said quietly. I should have seen what was happening. I should have protected you. Tyler manipulated me. Manipulated the entire executive team. He positioned himself as your mentor while he was actively sabotaging your career. Why are you telling me this? Because Meridian wants to make this right. We're offering you your old position back, plus the campaign director role Tyler held. We'll match your current Evermore salary and add a $20,000 signing bonus. And Maddie, we want to formally credit you as the creator of the Catalyst campaign in all future materials and case studies. A year ago, I would have said yes immediately. Would have been grateful for the validation. Now, I said, thank you for the offer, Victoria, but I'm happy where I am. Maddie, please consider. I have considered it. You chose Tyler over me when it mattered. You believed his version of events without question. I don't want to work somewhere I had to prove my worth through someone else's scandal. Victoria nodded slowly. I understand. For what it's worth, you deserved better from all of us. After we hung up, I sat at my desk in my Seattle office and felt something I hadn't felt in a year. Peace. My phone buzzed. A text from a number I didn't recognize. Maddie, it's Tyler. I know you probably don't want to hear from me, but I need to talk to you. Can you call me? I blocked the number. 10 minutes later, another text from a different number. Maddie, please. I'm in serious trouble. The lawyers say I could go to jail. I need your help. I need you to tell them this was all a misunderstanding. I blocked that number too. Then my parents called. Mom, Madison, we need you to come home right now. Your brother needs his family. Mom, I'm working. What's going on? Tyler's been fired. They're saying he stole from his company. But we know that's not true. He said you know the truth about what really happened. You need to tell them Tyler didn't do anything wrong. Mom, Tyler did exactly what they're accusing him of. He stole proprietary information and sold it. Silence. Then, you don't know that. Victoria Chen told me herself. They have evidence. Emails, file transfers, payment records. Well, it must be a misunderstanding. Tyler would never. Tyler stole my entire campaign and got promoted for it. Why is this hard to believe? That's different. That was family. You should have shared credit with your brother. It wasn't family, Mom. It was theft. Just like what he did to Meridian. How can you be so cruel? Tyler made a mistake, and instead of helping him, you're turning your back on your own brother. I'm not turning my back. I'm protecting myself from someone who used me and destroyed my career. He's family, Madison. So am I, Mom. I'm your daughter. And for a year, you refused to believe me when I told you Tyler betrayed me. You called me jealous. You said I was tearing the family apart. You chose him over me without question. Because Tyler needed us. And I didn't? When he stole my work. When he got promoted for my project. When he made me look incompetent in front of my entire office. I needed you too. But you didn't believe me. Mom started crying. We thought you were just upset about the promotion. Tyler said. Tyler lied, Mom, about everything, and you believed him. What are we supposed to do now? The lawyers want $70,000 for Tyler's defense. We've already paid $15,000. We don't have that kind of money. And there it was. The real reason for the call. You're asking me for money? To help Tyler defend himself for stealing? He's your brother. Family helps family. That's funny, Mom. Tyler said the same thing while he was destroying my career. Tell me, where was family when I needed help? When I was being humiliated daily at work? When I called you crying? Madison, please, if Tyler goes to prison, then he'll face the consequences of his choices. Just like I had to. How can you be so heartless? I'm not heartless, Mom. I'm protecting myself. Something you should have done for me a year ago. I hung up. They called back 17 times. Dad left voicemails calling me selfish, ungrateful, and cruel. Mom sent texts begging me to reconsider, saying Tyler was my only brother, and I'd regret this forever. I blocked their numbers. Tyler tried reaching me through former colleagues, through mutual friends, even through Zoe. Every message was the same. He was sorry. He'd made mistakes. He needed my help. I was his sister, and he loved me. I didn't respond to any of them. In March, Tyler's case went to court. Meridian's lawyers were thorough. The evidence was overwhelming. Emails showing Tyler negotiating with Hammond Marketing. Bank records showing the $20,000 payment. File transfer logs proving he'd stolen proprietary information. Tyler pleaded guilty to avoid jail time. He was sentenced to 2 years probation. Ordered to pay Meridian $85,000 in restitution, and banned from working in marketing or advertising for 5 years. His career was over. My parents called again after the sentencing. Dad, this time, I hope you're satisfied. Your brother's life is ruined. Tyler ruined his own life, Dad. I had nothing to do with his choices. If you'd helped him, if you'd testified that this was all a misunderstanding, maybe. It wasn't a misunderstanding. It was corporate espionage. He committed a crime. He's your brother, and I'm your daughter. But you've never treated those two things as equal. Silence. Then, quietly, what do you want us to say, Madison? I want you to say you believe me. That you should have believed me a year ago when Tyler first stole my campaign. That you're sorry you chose him over me without question. More silence. We were trying to protect Tyler. He'd struggled so much, and he finally had something good. He had something good because he stole it from me. And you rewarded him for it. We didn't know. You didn't want to know. There's a difference. Madison, please. We can't lose you too. You didn't lose me, Dad. You chose Tyler over me. There's a difference there too. I hung up. They sent a letter a week later. A real letter. In the mail. Because I'd blocked their numbers. Mom's handwriting. Dad's signature at the bottom. It was full of apologies. They were sorry for not believing me. Sorry for prioritizing Tyler. Sorry for calling me jealous and bitter and cruel. They'd been wrong. They'd been blind. They loved me and wanted to make things right. The letter ended. Please come home. Please let us be a family again. We promise to do better. We promise to believe you. Tyler lost everything, but we can't lose you too. You're our daughter, and we love you. Please forgive us. I read it 3 times, sitting on my couch in Seattle, 3,000 miles away from the family I'd once known. Then I wrote back. My own letter, in my own handwriting. Mom and Dad, I appreciate your apology. I believe you're sorry. But an apology doesn't undo the damage. For a year, you treated me like I was the problem. You prioritized Tyler's feelings over my reality. You chose his lies over my truth. That changed our relationship in ways a letter can't fix. I don't hate you. I don't hate Tyler. But I also don't trust you anymore. Trust isn't rebuilt with words. It's rebuilt with consistent actions over time. And right now, I need space to focus on my life without worrying about being Tyler's sister or being your daughter. I've built something here in Seattle. I have a career I'm proud of, colleagues who respect me, and a life that belongs to me. For the first time in a year, I'm not carrying the weight of Tyler's betrayal or your disbelief. Maybe someday we can have a relationship again, but it won't look like it did before. I won't go back to being the daughter who sacrifices herself to keep the family peace. I won't accept being second priority when Tyler needs something. If you want me in your life, it has to be on equal terms. Not as Tyler's sister, not as the child who's expected to forgive and forget. As Madison, as someone whose words and experiences matter as much as Tyler's. If you can accept that, then maybe we can rebuild something. But it will take time. Years. Probably. And I won't apologize for that. I love you both. But I love myself too. And that has to be enough for now. Madison. I mailed the letter and didn't hear back for 3 months. Meanwhile, my life in Seattle blossomed. Evermore promoted me to senior creative director in May, overseeing the entire retail and consumer goods division. My team expanded to 12 people. My salary hit $130,000. I'd surpassed Tyler's peak salary by $35,000. More importantly, I'd surpassed the person I'd been when Tyler could hurt me. In June, I met someone. His name was Owen, a software developer at a tech startup who'd moved to Seattle from Portland 2 years earlier. We met at a networking mixer, bonded over our mutual love of terrible coffee and good bookstores, and went on our first date to a used bookstore in Capitol Hill, where we argued cheerfully about fiction versus nonfiction. Owen knew my whole story. I told him on our 3rd date, expecting him to think I was damaged or bitter or complicated. Instead, he said, that took a lot of strength. To walk away and rebuild. I respect that. You don't think I should have tried harder with my family? I think you tried exactly as hard as you should have. They didn't believe you. They chose sides. You chose yourself. That's healthy, not selfish. I kissed him for the first time that night, standing on a Seattle street corner in the rain, and felt like I'd finally come home to myself. My parents sent another letter in July, shorter this time. Madison, we understand you need time. We respect that. We want you to know that we've started family therapy. Just your father and I. We're trying to understand where we went wrong, how we can be better parents to both you and Tyler. This isn't about asking you to come back. It's about us growing as people. We love you. When you're ready, we're here. I didn't respond, but I kept the letter. Tyler reached out through LinkedIn in August. A formal message, carefully worded. Maddie, I know I don't deserve your forgiveness. I know what I did was unforgivable. I destroyed your career, your relationship with our parents, and your trust. I was selfish, jealous, and cruel. I blamed you for my own failures instead of taking responsibility. I'm in therapy now, working on understanding why I did what I did. This isn't about asking for your forgiveness or trying to rebuild our relationship. I just wanted you to know that you were right about everything. And I'm sorry. I hope you're happy. I hope you've built the kind of life you deserve. You were always the talented one, the strong one. I'm sorry I couldn't handle that. Good luck with everything. Tyler. I read it twice. Then I deleted it without responding. Maybe someday I'd forgive him. Maybe someday I'd be ready to have some kind of relationship with my family. But that day wasn't today, and I wasn't going to force it. I'm 30 years old now. It's been 18 months since Tyler stole my campaign, 15 months since I moved to Seattle, 12 months since I cut contact with my family. My life is unrecognizable from where it was. I have a career I built myself, a team that respects me, a partner who loves me, friends who believe me, a therapist who helps me process the trauma of betrayal without pressuring me to forgive before I'm ready. I'm happy, genuinely happy. Not the performative happiness I showed my family while Tyler slowly destroyed my career, but real joy in my daily life. Sometimes I wonder what would have happened if I'd stayed at Meridian, if I'd fought harder to expose Tyler immediately, if I'd forced the confrontation with my parents earlier. But then I remember. I tried. I told the truth. They didn't believe me, and I can't build my life on what other people choose to believe. I can only build it on what I know is true. I know I'm talented. I know I worked hard. I know I didn't deserve what Tyler did to me, and I know I'm strong enough to walk away from people who don't value me, even when those people are family. That's enough. That has to be enough. So if you're watching from somewhere where someone's betrayed you, where family has chosen your betrayer over you, where you're questioning whether you're the problem, you're probably not. Trust yourself. Document everything. Build your own life. And don't let anyone make you feel guilty for protecting yourself. Family is supposed to support you, but if they don't, you're allowed to build a new family, one that actually shows up. Thanks for watching. Make sure to like this video if it resonated with you, and comment below if you've dealt with family betrayal. Where are you in your healing journey? I'll see you in the next one.